Well, I think we live, and I've always said this, 24 years in the Marines, we live in a more geopolitically dangerous time than ever before. And so finding the correct the funding mechanism is absolutely essential. And I think the second also is making sure the Defence Investment Plan is as transformative as it can be. And I think the two need to meet in the middle to provide the right capability, kit and equipment for our armed forces. The Defence Investment Plan as a whole, I haven't been involved in, and I found that very strange, as in the construct of what was in that plan. But I can understand some of the reasons why not, because I can disrupt things every now and again. I wouldn't say alarmed, but I was very concerned that it wasn't necessarily heeding the lessons from Ukraine, particularly on drones and uncrewed systems, and how cheap systems are replacing large, expensive bits of kit, such as, in some cases, heavy armour, all the way through to major combatant platforms at sea. And I wanted to see more of the new, innovative way of fighting that the Ukrainians are teaching us. Yeah. There are some false lessons from there as well, but some of those lessons pulled into the dip and the very central premise of it, rather than jammed in at the back end with a lower percentage of the funding. So within the situation, I need to do what is right by the armed forces. And if I don't think that's right, then I will absolutely consider my position. And from my perspective at the moment, we have not closed with this deal. When we have closed with this deal, I will decide my position. And I think there's been some really hard work by very good people on the Defence Investment Plan, but it's also quite difficult to change when you're in such a big bureaucracy. And I think usually that comes from sort of political impetus to sort of move the dial. And I think we've got to change further. We've got to wake people up to the revolution that's taking place in Ukraine and move faster. And then the second piece is we've got to find the right funding settlement. And importantly, that's got to be in line with our international allies and partners. We have a standing in the world, Great Britain. We may sometimes think about division, discord, and everybody paints the clouds grey and then tries to sell you an umbrella here in the UK. The reality is, across the world, we're held in very high regard. That's linked to defence spending and in some cases, our position in the security space. And as I said, I'll sort of finish where I started. Geopolitically, we're in an exceptionally dangerous period of time. A lot of the conflicts overseas are actually affecting people's pockets, the money in their pockets back here in the UK. Sometimes you don't necessarily know it, but £15 billion worth of cyber attacks just here in the UK alone. There's an influence battle going on, sponsored by hostile states. And we've seen a 30% increase in Russian activity, both surface and subsurface, off our coasts. And so this is a dangerous time. We have war in Ukraine that's caused 1.5 million casualties. That's more casualties than America took in the entire Second World War. Mm. And when you add that in with the Straits of Hormuz and the impact economically that is yet to hit us, we have headwinds coming, and we need really strong leadership to punch through that and make sure this country is safe and secure and everyone can not just exist, but live and thrive.